Good morning, and welcome back to the channel. A little bit longer than I was hoping to be away for, but I'm back. Yeah, as you've seen, more devastation in Chedworth Wood. This time not man-made. I would say this would be thanks to Storm Eunice and whatever the other one was. So two storms within a few days of each other, about a month ago-ish. And yeah, there's it's a lot. In fact, it's just crazy. The place is gets battered. I have to wonder though if this would have happened if they'd have been doing the management stuff they'd been doing sort of over the last year or so. Certainly left this area of woodland more exposed, I think, or more open to the elements. But then again, if they hadn't have done the work they'd done, would there be more devastation? Would there be more trees that I'd like to photograph damaged? I have to say, I was here a few days ago. The conditions weren't quite right, and I have had a bit of a look at some of my trees, and most of them seem to be okay. As okay as they can be. I'll just come back here. You see it? Oh no, let's go further that way. There we go. That's one of the defenders. Its main defendery arm is still intact, which is good, but we've got this tree branch now resting behind it. The defender at the back seems to be pretty much okay. Doesn't look any different, to be honest. And the trees it was defending, which are just over here to the right of the first defender, they seem to be fine. The trees around the back of there seem to be fine. This tree here, which I've never really photographed. Right, just got to change my arm tripod. It's getting heavy. Yeah, this tree's been was battered beforehand. Lots of drooping branches. I think it's because they were quite heavy. So it looks like there's bits broken off there, main branch broken off here, but this was never a tree I was going to be photographing. It was just just a jumble of branches. Although I think I did once try photographing some of the branches that have now fallen down the other side. Thought it looked a bit like lightning, but that image didn't exactly work out. Yeah, still got other trees I've photographed. They're still fine. Do you know what? One of the first trees I photographed, which is over there, and is fine. I'm sure I've given it a name, but I can't remember what it is. If I find out what it was, I'll stick it up. But that's all fine. It was over near that tree that was where I got quite a few of the images in the last video. Yeah, just looking away from it and down the hillside. Sorry, didn't mean to move my hand then. But yeah, there's a few trees over there that I haven't photographed yet, but I will do. I say everything else seems to be fine. No more damage than was already caused back during the clearing of the woodland. But yeah, it's still a bit of a shock to see those trees down. I say all those ones that have come down are all pine trees. Of course, other bits of damage on the way down. Now, I can't quite see them, but I do know there's a couple of the pines that have not quite fallen over yet. Just trying to remember where they were. I know I was taking a shot of, actually, this tree here, that's a dancing queen, or the dancer, the backside of it anyway. I came to have a look at that last week. Last week. But the conditions still weren't right for what I want. I may be okay today. I've got a bit of mist kicking around. As I was took like a test shot of that one. There was you can see one tree. In fact, we just walked straight by it. This one's getting ready to go. It's purely been stopped by the fact that it's leaning on another tree, and there was another one further out that way as well, that at some point come down. So I will be paying attention to my surroundings once I'm here. Fortunately, it's not very windy today, so I should be okay. And in fact, looking at it, if I've got it right, it wouldn't surprise me if the one it's leaning on goes over as well. So that must be taking some weight. It's not very windy today, so I should be fine. I've come back again to have a look at this tree. It's been a funny morning. I actually went over to Lechlade, because I've been working out that way the last couple of days, and every morning I've been through, there was some really nice mist. Mainly, I think, driven by the fact that the River Thames is there. And I thought, I'm going to go back and have a look on my day off today. But is normally the case whenever I have a day off. I seem to lose the conditions straight away. So I had a few minutes up there. I thought, no, give up. Went a bit further down the river to a place called Buscut, because there's a weir there. Went and had a quick look there. But nothing. But as I was there, or coming away from there, it just got very foggy, very misty, and I thought, okay, I know Chedworth's like half an hour, 3/4 an hour away, but I thought I'll go over and have a look. And there is still mist, low flying cloud kicking around. If you can see in the background there, that looks really, really misty in the distance. What I'm hoping for is that it closes in a bit more, so that when I take a picture of the dancer, I can exclude some of the background and get the picture I've been after for some time. But I've got a sneaky suspicion that's not going to happen. But what I will do is I'll set up, I've got one sort of composition that I know I want to get, or I'm roughly happy with. I don't know if it's perfect or not, but I like it so far. But I'll stick that up, and then I'm going to have a wander around and see if I can get it from another couple of angles, and just stick them up, just show you what I'm thinking and what potential there is. The one thing I will say about today is, let's put this tripod down. Excuse me. One thing I will say today is that it feels greener today. I know it's possibly another thing to say because I'm in woodland, but when I came over last week and looking at a couple of the test shots I got, you'll see one of the dancer I did. It seemed very, very brown. I mean, that's because we've got lots of dead branches, dead pine and firs all over the place, as you can see. So just perhaps show behind me as well. It's Beast, the Guardian. But yeah, you can see there's lots of brown all over the place. But we've just had, most of the week it's been really nice and sunny. Not boiling hot, but I think it got up to about 17 yesterday locally, so that was quite nice and warm. So I think it's just encouraged the undergrowth to grow a bit, so we've got a bit more green. But of course we are sort of at the start of spring, so we should see a lot more growth. In fact, I was looking at the picture of Guardian the other day, And I was thinking, actually, it is so green. I mean, it's still green to me because it's got all the moss on it, but just the rest of the area was really green. I really should check what time of year I took that. I think it was either spring or early autumn. I can't remember which. But yeah, there's still plenty of green around, which added to the darkness of the image. It might seem frustrating saying green, but yeah, it added to that. It was quite nice. Whereas even if it was foggy now, that the feeling in the place is going to be very different, or is very different. And as I'm talking here, we've just had the light dim a bit, as you've possibly noticed, and that's making the mist a bit more prevalent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop yattering, or waffling, there you go, said it, and get myself set up. Okay. Okay, right, set up more or less for my first composition. I've actually got quite a few options here. Currently got the 70 to 200, no, I have a 24 to 70 lens on. Really should know the difference between my lenses. And what I've got, as you can see on screen now, you've got the dancer just there, which is sort of the main focus of the image. I like being this far back, image wise, because the way I first saw this tree in the background of the garden was kind of just dancing around, or dancing through the image in the background, and that's what caught my attention. So I have tried shooting it close up, as I think I've said before, but it doesn't work. You're too close to it. It doesn't give you that image of just something flitting through the trees, whereas this does a better job of that. Now also within this you've got this tree here, set of trees. From one angle it actually looks like some just coming out of the ground like that. Unfortunately, when the forestry team went through, they damaged the left hand side of it, so it doesn't look so good. But from this angle it looks like a slightly different creature. Before it looked like a man coming out of the ground. This time it looks like it's got like two raised appendages, and then there's this little pointy one, if I can point out just about there, that's sticking out. It makes it more like an alien creature. And in this image it actually looks like the dancer's heading towards that, where it's going to have a bit of a dance off, a bit of a fight, who knows. But that's kind of like the way you can set that image up. Also over here you've got this one I call the lone tree. You can see a little bit of orange colour. It's a little beech tree, I think it is, which I've shot a couple of times. But also in last week's video it also starred with this one over here. I believe I put that one in. If I didn't put it in last time's video, I will put it in this video. I have actually posted a picture on Facebook, on Instagram, of this one, and it's just capturing the light up in the top. It's really quite nice. But that also appears in here, so it's kind of almost like a background character. And then I think just here, the tree I said I tried with the lightning effect, because it kind of just looked a bit like that. Yeah, that's just in there. It's kind of just another character kicking around. And then sort of way in the background behind these, if you looked really close, you can see a couple of other shapes. Which is, I think one of them might be the very first tree I shot, and then there's just another one that I haven't shot yet. So I mean, this one would be brilliant if we had some more mist and some fog. That would look really good. And I think also this image needs to be, I think, darker. So we need less light, more mist, just so that you can get the effect I want. Okay, so this is another composition. Obviously it cuts out like your trees on the left and is more focused on the dancer and that other tree. I've sort of got them central. Again, the dancer's heading towards that other tree. Make of that what you will. Again, well, I think all these images are going to benefit from better conditions. But again, this is just a bit of a test shoot. I'm just showing you sort of my thoughts about what sort of compositions I can get. And so these are all just from one location at the moment. And I'm going to have a look and see if I can see anything else from different angles. Okay, I said this was the final one. This is actually not the final one, but just a slight variation on the last one, just pushing the dancer more to the centre and the other tree to the right hand side of the frame. Also using these firs, pines. Actually going to have to watch this one in the future because that's tilting quite a bit that way, and actually looks like the roots are starting to come up. That could come down at some point. I really hope that doesn't take out the lone tree or top of the Guardian. Oh no, oh well, never mind. Right, this one, yeah, I'm using the, let's just see if we can lighten this up a bit. Yeah, using the pines to kind of guide the eye. It's got a light across the screen. I mean, the dancer's already taking you from there up to that part of the screen with the other tree, but then I'm using the other pines just to guide the eye into the image, because as you can see, they they start off down here quite low and then they're going up and up. It's just that diagonal line, leading line. I couldn't think of the word I was looking for a second there, but yeah, they create a leading line into the image. Doesn't necessarily mean the image is balanced as such, especially with this here. That is quite distracting, so I might just crop it so that we go from there, but that doesn't quite have the same effect. But yeah, I'll take this one and then I think one more here. Okay, so the final image from here is, I've used a square crop. Can't show that on video, it just goes back to using the full sensor for the image. But basically I've just cropped in, just focused on the dancer. I just brought it in, so I've taken out the trees on the right, taken out the big gap in the trees on the left and that tree in the background, so it's more just focused on the dancer. Now the one issue I do have with this is because it's more focused on there, that tree now seems to be so much closer to the camera and doesn't give me the effect I want. So what I'm going to do is move further back and swapped my 70 to 200 because this will just be too wide, not enough, and have a look, see if I can get the distance view I want with that. Right, now the only difficulty with this, at least from pretty much just going straight back from my previous position, is that the tree I was stood behind, or in front of I should say, is now part of the image. Oh, actually that may work. Let's just go back to full frame. Okay, this is not ideal. If I keep that tree there, that's one I was doing in front of, obviously excuse the bag, it's never going to be part of the final image. Yeah, you've got that tree in the way, it's too prominent. It's too much of a focus point. Yes, you can see the tree in the background, but it's not as central as in those two pines. We could move this way, but then we've got another tree in the way, which is a bit of a pain. So if we can go over here, so just adjust this. Oh, excuse me. Again, tree's better, but you've got the trees in front of it, so that's not going to work. Okay, I'm just going to have a wander around and see if I can find somewhere else, and then I'll set up again. I found another position. Going to the left of the tree just meant that I was getting more and more trees actually in front of the dancer. That wasn't what I wanted, but now I found another, maybe you see it, line of sight where it's caught between two trees. And yeah, we're going to give that a go. Okay, as you can see, this is my next composition. I'm still on the 70 to 200. I'm actually zoomed in at 70, so theoretically I could have still used the other lens. But this is as far as I can come. I kind of like the framing of the two trees on this side and this one here, and the way the trees seem to kind of just guide you into the centre of the image. Yeah, I quite like that. Still feel a bit too close though, so just going to go and get my other lens. Actually, first I will take an image of this one. Alright, so we're back with the 24 to 70 lens, and as you can see, we've obviously got a much wider field of view. I think I'm actually sat at 24 mil. So obviously it makes it look way back in the distance. Yes, there is a lot of empty foreground, but I can kind of live with that. I think later in the year when this starts to grow and is even greener and more lush than it is at the moment, that should not be too bad. I don't know if we get bluebells or anything around here. I think it's all just grass as far as I can see. Grass and heather and moss and bramble. It's blackberry bramble. But yeah, if that builds up a bit, it'll just build a bit more of a picture. At the moment though, we've got the distraction at each side. There's this one here. This is not the tree that the dancing queen is heading towards. This is another one. It kind of just looks like a hand coming up out of the ground. That's the word I was looking for. So I just got distracted. There's a bit of light coming through. Let's actually see if I can turn this. Sorry if it's not going to be focused, but there's a bit of light coming through and just lighting up the moss on the branches. Really looks quite nice. It's kind of that sort of thing that happened to me when I was here a few weeks ago, which on my last video where I managed to get the light. Just as I stood around later in the day, the sun came up further. Right, that should be roughly where it was. Yeah, so I've got that one on the right, distraction. I've got this leaning fir over here, a little bit further. That little bit there is part of the guardian. So I could crop that in. My other thing is just to crop this so that it looks like a pano, which I thought would be quite good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a quick image of this one. Anywho, back to what I was doing. I was going to do a panoramic, wasn't I? Do you know what? I really need to find my spikes. of angles, you start to lose the definition of the queen, as you see. So I think I'm going to call it a day for this video. One thing I can tell you is that the amount of video you'll have probably watched is not the same as the amount of video that I've created, because I've literally just been recording non-stop since I got in here, and that's probably the best part of half an hour's worth of video. So I think yourself lucky I just didn't keep it all in. But anyway, thank you for joining me, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed me kind of going over my process a little bit. I know I generally don't do that quite so much in some of my videos. Something I might do more, I think, rather than just me waffling, is just trying to explain what makes the image for me, rather than just saying, oh, here's an image, click, have a look, you'll like it or you won't. Just well, I explain a bit more my thought process into it. But at some point this year, maybe next year, I will definitely get the conditions I want for shooting this tree. But for now, I just have to take what I can get. It was a bit more than I was expecting, which was nothing. But anyway, I'm going to go now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye for now. I'm leaving that in.